who you wound up supporting in the election, presidential election.
None of your business.
None of my business?
Denzel Washington, a legendary actor known for his powerhouse performances, is also celebrated for his strong views on values, personal accountability, and integrity, ideas that often contrast starkly with today's woke culture. Washington has openly challenged the surface-level activism and performative gestures he sees becoming pervasive in modern discourse, urging people to focus on real substance instead of optics. In his interviews and public statements, Washington cuts through the noise with clarity, refusing to go along with trends that he believes distract from genuine values. In a world where celebrities often follow the latest woke trend, Washington's commitment to depth and authenticity has resonated with many.
I don't have to think about it. I've lived it. I've been the guy at the Oscars without my name being called. I've been the guy at the Oscars when my name is called. I've been the guy at the Oscars when everybody thought they was going to call my name and they didn't. So I've lived it.
So what would you say to the people who are looking at this process and saying it's unfair?
Yeah, and so what? You gonna give up? If you're looking for an excuse, you'll find one.
In race.
You can find it wherever you like. You can't live like that. You just do the best you can.
One of the standout aspects of Denzel Washington's approach is his emphasis on personal responsibility. He speaks passionately about how people must take ownership of their actions and choices, suggesting that too much of today's woke culture focuses on assigning blame to systems and structures rather than encouraging individuals to rise above their circumstances. Washington argues that while societal factors can play a role in one's life, true change begins with individual accountability. His message is clear: self-improvement and personal growth are the keys to a better life, not empty slogans or superficial activism. This perspective has made him a voice of reason amid a sea of celebrity rhetoric. Washington has expressed his frustration with the way many people, especially those in positions of influence, are quick to play the victim. He's often quoted saying that it's crucial to look in the mirror before pointing fingers at the world around us. Washington believes that the rise of victim mentality can be a barrier to self-growth, as it places limitations on what a person believes they can achieve. He argues that while obstacles are inevitable, people should focus on what they can control rather than blaming external factors. His perspective pushes back against the woke tendency to avoid accountability, suggesting instead that individuals should take control of their own narratives. Another area where Washington stands out is in his criticism of cancel culture. He's voiced concerns that cancel culture is often too quick to judge and dismiss people without understanding the full context. Washington's approach is to believe in redemption and growth. He's expressed a belief that people should be allowed the opportunity to learn from their mistakes instead of being canceled permanently. In his view, cancel culture's insistence on perfection leaves no room for personal development or change, which he believes is essential for any healthy society. This perspective challenges the rigidity of woke ideology, advocating instead for compassion and understanding.
Black director. Could a white director not have
It's not
produced this
color,
work?
it's culture.
Explain the difference, because I think we're in a
Steven
space
Spielberg did Schindler's List.
Right now.
Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right? Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List. But they're cultural differences. You know, I know, you know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference, not just a color difference.
Washington also points out the shallowness of social media activism, a practice he views as largely ineffective. He's spoken about how simply posting about causes or issues isn't enough, as it often fails to inspire meaningful action. In his eyes, true activism involves being actively engaged and making real changes, not just online displays of solidarity. He encourages people to get involved in their communities and contribute in ways that go beyond what he considers clicktivism. For Washington, true commitment to a cause involves dedication, time, and a genuine desire to help, qualities he feels are lacking in much of today's online activism. In a world where woke culture often promotes the idea of tearing down existing structures, Washington advocates for building something new instead. He believes in the power of positive contributions and creating opportunities rather than simply criticizing or dismantling existing systems. He shared his belief that while pointing out problems is easy, it's much harder to come up with solutions and actively work toward them. This approach runs counter to much of today's discourse, which often focuses on deconstructing societal norms without offering practical alternatives. Washington's stance is a refreshing call to action for those tired of endless critique without constructive input. Washington's background also informs his perspective, as he's no stranger to the challenges that come with growing up in a tough environment. He's shared stories of his experiences with discipline and resilience, crediting his upbringing and values for his success. In his speeches, Washington often speaks about the importance of hard work, discipline, and determination, values he feels are downplayed in today's culture of instant gratification and entitlement. Washington's personal story serves as a powerful testament to the importance of perseverance and grit, values he sees as essential for real progress, and he encourages young people to embrace these qualities. In several interviews, Washington has discussed how modern culture sometimes undermines the importance of family structure, which he views as a foundational element for personal development and social stability. He's spoken about how growing up with a strong family unit helped him stay grounded and focused, emphasizing the value of parental guidance and community support. Washington's focus on family values stands in contrast to the individualism often promoted in woke ideology, which tends to prioritize personal identity over collective unity. His message is that while individual expression is important, family and community provide the structure and support needed for true fulfillment and stability. Washington has also questioned the motives behind some celebrity activism, suggesting that for many the focus seems to be on self-promotion rather than real change. He's pointed out that there's a difference between genuine activism and using causes to enhance one's personal brand. This observation resonates with those who feel that today's celebrity activism often lacks sincerity, as public figures seem more interested in appearing woke than making a real impact. Washington's critiques serve as a reminder that true activism requires humility and a willingness to put others before oneself, qualities that he feels are often missing in the current social landscape. In a memorable interview, Washington addressed the importance of listening to people with different viewpoints, something that's increasingly rare in today's polarized world. He's voiced concerns that woke culture often discourages open dialogue, promoting a one-sided narrative that leaves little room for nuance or understanding. Washington believes that in order to make progress, people need to engage in respectful discussions, even with those they disagree with. His emphasis on empathy and open-mindedness stands in stark contrast to the rigidness of cancel culture, encouraging people to seek common ground rather than division. Washington's commitment to authenticity has made him a respected figure not only in Hollywood but also among those who admire his down-to-earth perspective. He's often expressed disdain for the Hollywood echo chamber, where people reinforce each other's opinions without considering alternative viewpoints. Washington's approach is to stay grounded, focusing on his craft and values rather than getting caught up in trends.
I think this is what I think. I think we as Americans better learn to unite. I think we as Americans need to put our elected officials' feet to the fire and demand that they work together, or they won't get back in office. You know, in this age we live in, this accelerated information age, we're getting further and further apart. We're not getting together, we're getting further and further and further apart. Everybody can't be right. But I think this is an opportunity, actually. You see how people are being energized and protesting and all that. But I think this is an opportunity for us to look at ourselves as a country and say, are we together, really? And are we holding our elected officials accountable to making sure that they're working together? Not just, hey, you're on your side, I win what I win, you win what you win. Because this is what is happening. This is what's happening.
By refusing to conform to Hollywood's shifting ideals, Washington has set himself apart as someone who values honesty over popularity. His willingness to speak his mind has earned him respect from those who are skeptical of today's woke culture. One of Washington's core beliefs is that people should focus on self-improvement rather than seeking validation from others. He's often spoken about the importance of being true to oneself, regardless of popular opinion or societal pressure. Washington's message is simple: don't compromise your values for the sake of fitting in or gaining approval. This perspective is especially powerful in a culture that often pressures individuals to conform to the latest trends or ideologies. Washington's commitment to integrity serves as a reminder that personal growth should be driven by inner motivation, not external validation. Washington's approach to social issues is pragmatic rather than idealistic. He acknowledges that problems like inequality and injustice exist, but he believes in practical solutions rather than grand gestures. Washington's message is that while it's important to address these issues, we should do so in a way that fosters unity and understanding rather than division. He encourages people to work together to find solutions, emphasizing the importance of cooperation over confrontation. His belief in constructive action is a refreshing change from the often divisive rhetoric of woke culture, promoting a vision of progress that's grounded in real-world solutions. Through his work and words, Washington has become a voice of reason, calling for a return to values that prioritize substance over image. His critiques of woke culture are not rooted in cynicism, but in a desire to see genuine change that benefits everyone. He challenges people to look beyond the slogans and examine the motivations behind their actions, encouraging a focus on authenticity, humility, and hard work. Washington's approach is a reminder that true progress is made through dedication and perseverance, not through performative displays or self-promotion. Washington's message has resonated with a wide audience, especially those who feel alienated by the shallow nature of much of today's woke culture. His focus on personal accountability, family values, and constructive action offers an alternative to the often divisive discourse that characterizes modern activism. By emphasizing the importance of integrity and authenticity, Washington provides a model for those who want to make a positive impact without compromising their values. His commitment to honesty and realism serves as a beacon of hope for those who believe that true progress requires more than just words. In a world where woke culture often prioritizes optics over substance, Denzel Washington stands as a powerful advocate for values that go beyond the surface. His critiques of Hollywood and celebrity activism challenge the public to question what they see and think critically about the issues they care about. Washington's message is clear: real change requires real effort, and it's time to move past performative gestures and focus on making a lasting impact.
Paper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's the great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including